Good morning. All right, here we go. We got a couple of trees in our way, and these are real ones, or one of them is. So this is going to be exciting and dangerous. All right, oh, the string is high. A little of the water escaped here onto the road. All right, recap. I realized last night I wasted a whole bunch of time yesterday trying to figure out grade. In this situation, I think grade is the result of the road, not the planning of the road. The only thing we could do to decrease the grade is to increase the driveway. And that could be done at a later time for sure. But if you just pick your starting spot and the ending spot, wow, this water's running pretty good. When you pick the ending spot, now the ending spot is also, if the longer the road, the less the grade, but that ending spot there has a grade, and it doesn't do any good to make the road any longer than where the grade flattens out. So I still think the end of the road, right there where that mound is, the end of those 4 logs, is a pretty good spot. One other thing, there is a lot more dirt because the road, of course, is narrow. And the reason for that is I want to get to my depth successfully. If I made this 10 feet wide and I ran into granite, you'd have to jackhammer it out or something. But I don't think I am. So far, I'm running into just broken up rock, kind of like shale or whatever, but nothing solid. So that's good. I think that's not going to be an issue. But there is going to be a lot more dirt. A lot. And I got a lot here. I did pick up on one thing watching videos over a long period of time. But this one was a long time ago. But what they do when they do grading is they double the height of the finished grade, and it helps compact the grade below. So this is working out, even though I'm not quite sure how I'm going to, just a little bit at a time, I guess. But anyway, right now this is compacting pretty well. The road is going to be, 65 inches below that line. That's what I was going to tell you. Is I spent a lot of time yesterday, figuring out grade. And that wasn't very smart. What I did is I set that line based on what I thought the grade was up there, and I was off by 7 inches or something as far as the ground was concerned. So what I realized is that you just go with what you have. So that's the bottom of the grade. That's the top of the grade. That's it. So all I got to do is, the string is 65 inches off the ground at the top. I'm going to unwrap that tree, all that wasted time, and figure out where the bottom of the driveway is, which is probably right there. Go up 65 inches. I'd like to be able to attach it to that tree on the left, but I'll start with this tree. In other words, I'm going to drop that down probably 10 inches. It's going to drop this 10 inches, and that probably 5 inches. So that's the real grade we're dealing with. But anyway, just a waste of time yesterday. Okay, I was thinking, you know, as I was pushing this dirt down, I was going to be able to get the excavator down here. That slope there is probably okay for the excavator. There's 2 stumps in the way. I mean, that's a fairly decent path down there. I was pushing some of this dirt up to the right and got a little bit sideways, and that's a feeling I haven't felt too much yet. Another thing on this road here, this is also going to be an interesting thing. I mean, obviously we're blocking this channel here, but it might, probably not. I was thinking it might pond up a little bit, and then when it gets to a certain height, that's where we put our drainage in. But now that I'm out here looking at it, it's just going to push its way to the right. And at some point, there'll probably be a culvert or just a drain pipe that runs alongside the right side of the road to keep the water on the right. If the water stays on the right, because the road's going to come up here and turn left, that would probably be good. But anyway, that tree and that tree is in the way. And this is exciting. It's probably 250 feet. Just guessing because they're all about the same height. I think the tall ones are around 300. But this one, as far as this road operation is concerned, stopping it there, or somewhere near there, it's in the way. And my heart is pumping on this one. From this angle, it looks like it's going to drop that way. Or it wants to anyway. I'm not experienced enough to try to get it to drop the way it doesn't want to drop. Obviously going that way, it's going to hit a bunch of leaves up high and just hang up there. The best option, if I could do it, would be to drop it that way. It's just got to get through those two. This is really exciting. There's really no clear path for it to drop. Let's think about this. Definitely, you know, that first growth part is big time wanting to go to our right. That first one I cut down, this one right here, this little one, it's not to be discounted at all. Those pieces are heavy, and this is like a real tree. Let me think about this for a bit. All right, cowboy up. I am thinking I could maybe put a pulley on that stump, wrap a cable through it and up to this tree about there, and pull the truck out that way and try to just yank it to the left. That's option 1. Option 2 is try to get it to fall towards that tree, that dead one. This littler one here is in the way, but it might also be in the way of the driveway. But it really isn't. You know, there to there. It's over 10 feet. It's going to take out something. And I certainly don't think I can get it to fall through all those limbs, even though that would be the preferred way, because that's the way I'm going. Shoot. And it looks like it's definitely leaning that way. I think I'm going to try to send it that way. It's going to cause some damage. But we got to get moving here. All right. Gonna notch here, back cut there. And my escape route is that way. Let's see how far it comes down. If it doesn't make it all the way down, I might be able to yank it or winch it with the truck to pull it to the left a little bit, because I definitely don't want to be trying to shorten it from the bottom. God, I just don't think it's going to make it to the ground. Darn it. All right, I'm going to put a pulley there, get the truck out that way, put the cable around it as high as I can, and pull on it with the truck just to see if I can how much I can manipulate it, because ideally it falls out that way. All right, set that up. Side note, my truck battery is getting weak, and I'm hoping that the house batteries that came out of the trailer will work. Find out that later. Okay, I'm not gonna put a lot of tension on it. I just want to kind of get it leaning, wanting to go this way. I might tug on it a little bit just to see how much it moves, but when I get down there to cut it, I'm just gonna have, maybe 500 pounds of pressure on it or something like that. Okay, I don't think that it's gonna shouldn't knock you out here. Let's go to a wide angle. There's a lot of pressure on it right now. It's kind of leaning the way I want it to. Here we go. Alright, I survived. I was in the truck. I got my cell phone out to get a different angle of this, and I was pumping so much that thought left my mind. That was almost perfect, right where I wanted it to go. Alright, let's knock out that little one, and we'll go from here. Trimmed up pretty nice. Let's see how far the truck can pull it up. This stump didn't budge when it hit. Well, I'm rigged up for pulling. Let's get some more of that stuff out. All right, note to self. That stump needs to be dug out of there when the road gets down there, but it's going to get buried in the process. So it's right across from that tree. All right, we got a clear path. What do we do now? I think I can only climb up and down that hill about 6 times a day. So I think we're just going to do some more excavator work. But first I'm going to unwind that tree. I'm going to use a tape measure to determine where bottom of road is. measure up 65 inches, and I got a feeling that line is going to come way down, which makes more sense. We're too flat. Just as long as you don't go below the line. That's what the mistake I made earlier on the main road, or the first road. If you let the blade dig in once when you're at level, at grade, it's a pothole, guaranteed, or a dip in the road. Massive dip in the road where I did that. All right. Well, I'm going to shut you off while I fill the excavator, and then when I get the line all hooked up, we'll take another look at it. When Thomas was looking at this land, we got all these rumors that they buried logs all across here in order to build up the ground for this layer of dirt, flat layer. But probably what they saw was this. They used logs around the perimeter to help keep this 45-degree slant. Like that big log there was an anchor. That big one over there probably started as an anchor, but there's probably going to be a bunch along this wall. Okay, just warming up the excavator. Oh, I think that tree took out my string. All right, you're back on your perch. I got a strange feeling this road is going to get a lot steeper. It is what it is. I'm thinking I take this string and wrap it on that little tree, and then just get the top of the string at 65 inches at the bottom of the road, which is right about where that tree is. And then go past this tree, and past that tree, and I can see that big log's in the way already, but I got a feeling the string's going to be somewhere down there. It was, with trying to measure with the 4-foot level, I think it was around, the ground was there. I was probably around here. I think it's going to be down there. Oh boy. Alright, so all this dirt has to move. Alright, a lot of excavating fast forward today. Reality is reality. You're going to have a steep driveway and a steep hill. Okay, I'm going to set the height of the string at 65 off the ground there, which is at least a foot below that one. And when I tried using my calculations, it ended up being like 8 inches high. So I know I was already 8 inches high. So anyway, I'm going to get it tight there. Then I'm going to see if I can just kind of pull the string and let it bing and find its own level spot. Oh shit. 22.5. Come on. $20 3/4. Did I say that one already? $22. Shit, that's not working. $19 3/4. Alright, this thought has gone through my mind, but I was, worried about not being able to get deep enough here. But, two options. So say I can get deep enough here. That's good. If I can't, then that just means that road's going to be steeper. But it probably makes sense to all of you that I do this last, because that's rock. And if I push rock on top of a road that's close to grade, that's probably good. Alright, we're going from here forward. We're going to leave the rock alone. Heard my level drop. Oh, thank goodness. Probably should tie wrap that up there. This road, or this ramp to the upper level, is going to be fat, that's for sure. Jeez, this battery's getting low already. Okay. First of all, I remember this line is just a rough cut line. Here we got that line there. And that line there. And it can't be that far off. I raised that one up, the stick pulled towards us, and so that's 65 over there. And that one I know is a 65. Here, see, I'm 5'11", so I'm getting close. 65 is probably here, so I'm within 1.5 feet, 2 feet on that one. Same, this one is the road's a little lower, but not much. But I don't think this is going to be as steep as the other side at all. The part that has been confusing me, excuse me for sniffling all the time, but it's constant running. So I keep getting closer and closer to the end of this driveway, and it's still down to my ankles. So, you know, theoretically, the end of the road's right there. So we have a lot of dirt. And I'm trying to figure out what makes the most sense. You see the water. There's definitely water coming off the landing. There's definitely water coming down here. There's a lot of mountain above it. But there's not a lot of surface water. I think there's, you know, these areas where there's rock, and the water, a lot of the water finds that and stays below the surface. I mean, we had a lot of rain. I did not come out here and check, but there's never been really any evidence of surface water. So I don't know what's going to happen here. I'm not that concerned about these piles of dirt yet, because it may come in handy somewhere else. Or it's just going to get leveled out, you know, flattened out with the other mountain there. And I'm not sure yet. But I'm definitely thinking this side needs to, you know, be kind of a graceful slope. You know, kind of just make that one nice grade there. This tree, it's as big as it looks. But, you know, see I broke it free. If I scrape the dirt off the top and the bottom there, I might be able to get it to move, but I don't know what I can do with it after that. I don't think we want it here rotting for the next 20 years. Same with those couple others down there. There's probably a lot that are buried, which don't look bad. So this will be interesting how this gets out of here. And that big mound of dirt there doesn't really belong there either. Interesting. It's very interesting. Noticed here, all the way, you know, like pretty much the whole way. You see how the water likes to run down the middle, of course, but it always gets sinkholes when I get close to pushing stuff off the end. And I don't know if that's just because there's a lot of mud there in the middle, or just in the center of this pile of dirt, it just pushes in every direction. That doesn't make much sense, but anyway, I'm getting to the point where I got to start being careful. This is getting close to done. I mean, it's still got another, like I said, 1.5 feet, 2 feet. But that's not very far. So I got to start getting a lot better at not digging these trenches. And then there's also the consideration of compacting it. I try to run the tractor, you know, at the end back and forth a lot. In this area, you know, as I'm pushing dirt down, it's definitely getting a lot of compaction. This is going to round out. And I'm thinking the road, I think this side of the road is going to be here. There's a lot of rock there, so that's a pretty good edge. It could be rounded a little bit. So the width of this road is going to go to the right. Maybe, you know, follow that string even. So there's still a lot more dirt. A lot. And then there's the thought of pushing it uphill, filling in our low spot. I don't know. But I still think I'm going to go with the plan of, God, I haven't talked all day. My voice is gone. Getting this one path at grade. This is pretty easy to break down and push around or put in the back of a trailer and brought someplace. This is confusing work for the first time. Look at the size of this road. I think that'll be nice though. Especially if the whole thing's compacted and level. What a nice day, but it's not very warm right now. All right, well, I'm just absorbing this. I think it's going to be pretty good. That's a good slope out of here. This is still a mystery. It looks like, I think the string looks like it's following the same path. And like from that tree to this tree, it's, we'll call it maybe a foot. This might need to drop a foot to be even with that one. But that doesn't still seem like a very steep. All right, I'm stalling. Okay, man, it was a long day. I finally had some kind of a clue. There's a lot of dirt to excavate to make this drop, and I've been panicking about it, but I just need to make a level, is what I determined. So I've gotten to this spot. It's 5 o'clock and I had to run to the mailbox, and they delivered another package to my neighbor. Thank God he didn't drive it up, so I went down and picked it up and then went to the post office. But I lost my rain guard swinging around these trees and ripped it off. It's still in pretty good shape, but it's actually good shade too for the summertime, so I'm probably gonna hang on to that. But anyway, this is getting semi-interesting. I've actually got dirt tickling the end of the road area. And you can see there's a lot of elevation that needs to be dropped. The bottom of that tree is the bottom of the road. But I was confused all day long. And then I just thought, well, hell, just kind of make it flat, fill in the area, and all the excess dirt is just going to go in front of the road. And that doesn't bother me, even though we need dirt in the low spot up there, but pushing dirt uphill is different than downhill. This tree right there, the corner tree of the driveway, which I like, I really hope it survives, but you can see there's a bunch of trees on the other side that are dying. You can see them there. They're on the edge. They got buried too high. You can see this one here is like growing roots there. Yeah, he was buried there before. But that might help it. I actually have lost the memory, but if you do bury the base of a tree, it can't survive. And this one's had a lot of screws in it. Anyway, I think this might work. Follow the logic. If I'm standing on the ground and that string is 65 inches off the ground and it's you probably can't see it, but the grade from that tree at the very end is 65 inches off the ground. So theoretically, this should be semi-even grade, even though it doesn't feel like it, because well, it just looks like with the distance between the end of that and the bottom of that tree seems like a lot to me. But then this is also still needs to come down 2 feet almost. However, it's kind of close to that one. So like when I'm walking up the main driveway, I'm totally out of breath. And oh boy, I'm so excited to see. I think tomorrow I'm going to get this dirt pushed out to the point to where I can drive the excavator down on the ground and clear some trees. But I'll get a real good feel for how steep this is. I'm also excited about, I've designed, or in my mind, I thought of like a 4-foot a post about 3 feet high or so with a 4-foot arm on it that's perpendicular, right angle, that you can tie wrap a level to. And then, so one leg will be 3 feet, the other leg is going to have markers on it. I'd like to have like a chain of some kind. So you just set the level, and then wherever the chain, has markings on it, it'll give you grade. And I want to test a lot of grade around here. But that's coming up. Anyway, tomorrow is going to be fun because I have a semi-plan. All right, see you tomorrow.